Hello game devs, welcome back to another GDevelop 5 tutorial. So today we will be going through the basics of GDevelop 5. So if you're new to GDevelop or you have been into it for quite some time, well, this tutorial will show you the basic concepts and status of GDevelop 5, and I will explain everything bit by bit, so just let me know if you don't understand. Okay, so let's here we go. This is GDevelop. GDevelop is an easy to use game creator with no programming language to learn. We have the open project and the create new project. Okay, the open project creates a project which has already been created. Okay, we have the search for the documentations. So create a new project. Here we go. Now this are the status of GDevelop. There are 5 in number presently. We have the platformer, 8-bit space shooter, isometric game, downhill bike racing pairs. We also have a ton of examples. Here we go. Very much. I can't go through every single one of them, but I think you should go through every single one of them if you have time. So you can also submit your example. If you think you have a good example, you can submit it to the forum, or you can submit it. Here we go. You just select the folder and submit your example. So we also have some tutorials which are available. We have the community tutorials, and we also have tutorials which you can choose to read. Okay, so status. So the status are here for you to learn. So I'll just open the platformer. Okay, so this opens everything about the platformer status. So you can just go through every single one of this, and I think you will understand how the platformer works. Okay, so file, create a new project. Now at the bottom of the status we can see empty game, start a new game from scratch. So just open that up. So here we go. This is our projects manager. We'll just open the first bar, game settings, properties. Now our game name, we have to set our game name. Okay, example. So you set this to the name of your game window width. So this is the width of your game, and the height, this is the height of your game. So we have a display GDevelop splashes setup in exported game. So if you pay for GDevelop, that is if you get a subscription, disable GDevelop splash a startup, you can get this out. So you can get a subscription once you log in. Okay, so now you can set the author's name here. So you just set in your name here. Version number, you set in the version number, that's the version of your game. Project file type, we have the single file and the multiple files. The single file saves in one folder, while the multiple file saves in multiple folder. The folder is usually, or it is, next to the main file, sorry. So we have the minimum frame FPS and the maximum FPS. Okay, now these are package name for iOS and Android. So if you get in this to Admob, that's a Google Admob, they will ask you for your package name. So you have to set your package name here and use the same package name in your Google Admob. So I just set that to example. Okay, example. So this is our package name. Now device orientation for Android and iOS, we have the platform default, which is portrait, landscape. We have the landscape, and we also have the portrait. The portrait is straight, yeah. So scale mode, also sampling. We have the linear and the nearest. The linear is an okay, so this is used for rendering. This is good for most games, while we have the nearest, good for pixel perfect games. If you want a pixel perfect game, use the nearest. Okay, so now we have the full screen on game size mode. So you can set this set it that no changes to the game size. This changes the game width to fit the screen, and this changes the height to fit the screen. Now we have the Admob Application Id. So if you have a Google Admob account and you get your Admob Application ID, you just fill in your ID here in order to display ads, but you also need to fill in an action which displays the ad. So apply, but this is where you fill in your ID. So apply. Global variables, here we go. This is self-explanatory. So global variables are variables that are shared amongst all the scenes of the game. So I will show you what scenes are. Okay, so icons, you say your icons, okay. Okay, I have some, okay, I'll just go through this. Now this generates icons for the different formats. Here we go, we have the Android. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we have the desktop icon. We have the Okay, so now we have the Android icons, depending on the size. We also have the iOS, which are the iPhone and the iPad icons. Here we go. Okay, so this generates the icons, but if you want to create your own icon, you can just edit it with a piskel. So this is an inbuilt editor, so you can just edit this. Okay, so you can just edit your icon, apply. Okay, now we have the resources. Resources are automatically added to your project whenever you add an image, a font, or a video to an object, or when you choose an audio file in Events. Choose a resource to display its properties. Now these are the resources used because these are all the icons. These are the icons we generated. So with these resources you can rename, you can remove, you can open a file, you can locate a file, you can copy a file path, you can scan for images, scan for audio, scan for fonts, scan for videos. Okay, so once you're done with your game, I recommend you click on this, remove unused images, remove unused audio, remove unused fonts, and remove resources with invalid paths, because this reduces the size of your game and it makes the game faster. So that's it for resources. Game settings. Okay, now scenes. So every game made with GDevelop consists of a scene, so you have to add a scene. So add a scene. You can rename your scene. I'll just name this game 1. So this is the first scene. Okay, so this is what a scene looks like. You have to make a scene if you want to make a game in GDevelop 5. So every game made in GDevelop 5 consists of a scene and must be made has a scene. So close this. Now this is our scene. So in the scene you can add in the object for your scene. Okay, let's go. Let's add in some objects. Add an object, sprite. So this is animated object which can be used for most elements of a game. So most assets are sprites. So most assets are sprite objects. So sprites. Now this is what this looks like. The object has no animations containing images. Start by adding an animation. So we have to add an animation. Okay, so this is what our animation looks like. So add I'll just get a platform here. Okay, so now this is the animation. So you can add in multiple animations if you want it, and then you can set it to loop. I'll just show you that real quick. Here we go. So here's our player walk. Okay, all the way open. So now you can set this to loop preview. As you can see, now this loops the player's animation, so that is what our sprite is meant for. Okay, so delete this and add an animation. Okay, I'll just add in a character stand. Okay, so now this is an edit with piskel. You can create a piskel character with this and save, and also re-import it into GDevelop and use it as a character. Okay, sprite and behaviors. So behaviors allows you to enhance an object with some predefined logic. So add a behavior. So now this is the platform behavior. Okay, this is a platform behavior. Platform that platformer characters can run on. So if you're creating a platformer character, you have to create a platform depending on the type of game you're making. So Our platform character can walk on a platform. Okay, I'll just set this to sorry. I'll just set this to platformer character because this is the character which is controllable. This is a controllable character that can jump and run on platforms. So okay, now this is the acceleration of a character. You can grab platform ledges. If you want your character to be able to grab the ledges of a platform, you can check that. Deceleration, default controls. So the default controls of GDevelop are the arrow up, down, right, and left. And we have the right shift. Sorry, we have the shift, which is the jump. Okay, so we have the grab offsets in y-axis, grab tolerance in x-axis. We have the gravity. By default it's set to 1000, so this is the gravity of your object, so you can just change that. The jump speed, this is the speed it takes our sprite to jump. Maximum falling speed, this is the speed at which the character falls. This is maximum speed at which the character falls to the platform. The maximum speed, this is the maximum speed of our platformer. And round coordinates and slope map angle. So apply. Now we have our sprite. So this is the first behavior. Now let's add a new object. Okay, now cloud sprite. This cloud sprite displays an image repeated over an area. Okay, so I'll just open that up to show you what this means. Okay, here we go. Now this is the default width in pixels. By default it's 32. I'll just set that to 70 and 70. Okay, name this cloud sprite. Apply. So now you have to pull in your object into the scene. You can just hold right click and pull your object into the scene. Now okay, so here we go. Now this is a cloud sprite. So for cloud sprite you can pull this out like this. Here we go. Now I'll just show you something real quick. If we set this as a sprite, add an animation, add here we go, apply. Now this is the same thing, but here we go. If we set this as a sprite, this is what happens. It stretches it out, but cloud sprite repeats the image over and over again. So delete this and delete. Okay, so now our sprite. Now we set our sprite to we gave it a platform object behavior. Now pull this into the scene, and we need to give this a platform behavior. Add a behavior. Now this is a platform behavior. Like I said earlier, platform, the platformer character can run on. Set this. So we have 3 different type of platforms. We have the platform, we have the jump through platform, and we have the ladder. I will be going through every one of them right now. Okay, so here we go. Platform, apply, and preview. You can preview a scene by clicking on this. It looks like a play button. Okay, so here we go. Now as you can see, our play, which is the sprite, falls to our cloud sprite, which is the platform. Default controls still right and left arrows, right shift to jump and also left shift to jump. Okay, so now as you can see, it moves on the cloud sprite, which we set as the platform. So close that. Now let's go to the other the other types of platforms. I'll just duplicate that. Cloud sprite 2, edit objects, behaviors, platform, jump through. Okay, so the jump through platform, apply, pull this into the scene. Okay, preview. Now you can jump from beneath of this. Oh, sorry, my player cannot jump high enough. Edit objects, behaviors. Now we could increase our jump speed. I'll just set that to about 2000. Apply, preview. So here we go. Oh, that's too much. So as you can see, a player, the jump through allows a platformer character to jump from under of it, that beneath of it, and get to the top like this. Here we go. Okay, so close that. Now let's try the third one. Edit object behaviors, jump through, and the ladder. Okay. Actually, we're supposed to get a ladder in here. Sprite edit object behaviors. Just set this back to about okay, maybe 1000. Apply and preview. So here we go. Now this is what the ladder does. You can actually move on the ladder. This is not actually a ladder. Okay. Edit objects. I'll just get a ladder in here. Edit objects. Here we go. Apply. Now this is it. This allows you to move on it like this. Here we go. This is a ladder type of object of tiled sprites. And here we go. So close that. Now we've gone through every single one of them. That is the type of tiled sprites we have. So let's go to the next object. We have a text object. So this is used to create a text in a scene. You can write anything you want. Jam, text, name, bold. You can set a bold. You can choose in a font. You can set any font you want. The size, 80 color. You set the color you want. Apply, and here we go. So this is what it looks like. Use a text object. It's used for adding text into the scene. Okay. Now for our next object, we have the particles emitter. This displays a large number of small particles to create a visual effect, or to create visual effects. Here we go. Particle. We have the kinds of particle. We have the point, line, and textured. For the textured, you have to set an image. We have the points, line, and textured. Points size 3. The textured, you have to pick an image like I said. The line, this creates line. You can set the line's length 80. That's gonna be a bit long. Maybe about 6. Thickness, set the thickness here. Choose the color. This is the start color. This is the end color. Additive rendering, you can set this. Uncheck it. Delete when out of particles. So this will delete when it's out of particles if it's checked. Now maximum particles to be displayed. This is the maximum particles to be displayed on the screen. Now number of particles in tag -1 for infinity. You can set this to about 200. So when this 200 particles are released, now it will delete when out of particles. So it will delete it. But set to -1. By default, flow of particles per second. This is the flow of particles per second. Minimum emitter force applied on particles. This is the force applied on particles. Maximum force applied on particle 85. Spray cone angle. So this is the angle of our spray cone. 90. I'll just set that to maybe 120. Radius of emitter. This is the radius of the emitter. You can set that to what you want, maybe 5. Gravity on x-axis. This is the gravity on the x-axis and the gravity on the y-axis. Friction on particles. 2. Particles minimum lifetime. So this is the minimum lifetime of particle before it is deleted, and this is the maximum particle lifetime of a particle in seconds. Particle start size percent. It starts at 100 and ends at 100. You can change the start size in percent. Particle minimum rotation. This is the rotation. You can set this if you want your particle to rotate. This is the minimum rotation and the maximum rotation. So apply and pull this into the scene and preview. So here we go. These are the effects. This is it. There we go. Okay, I'll just put that here. Now next we have the panel sprite and imagery edges and corners that are stretched separately from the full image. Open that up. I'll just choose a new image to show you what this means. Okay, so there we go. This is the top margin and the bottom margin. You can just set this to the margin you want. Default width 70, so that's about 70. We have the top margin and the bottom margin, left margin and right margin. I'll just set the right margin to about maybe 100 and apply. Put this into the scene. Here we go. And as you can see, this is our sprite and this is sorry, grab these, apply. So this is the portion which is stretched separately from the image. As you can see, this is our image here, and this is the portion which is stretched separately from our image. Name 9 patch. Okay, now let's go to our next object, the shape painter. So this is our shape painter. Just name that shape. Outline color. This is the outline color. And the fill color, outline size maybe about 4, and there's the fill color white. I want some about okay, this, and outline black, apply. So pulling this into the scene doesn't do anything. You have to go to your events. Okay, so now I'll just give you guys a brief explanation of what event is. So this there are no events here. Events are composed of conditions and actions. This is composed of conditions and actions. Most conditions and actions refer to objects. So I'll just create a new empty event. Here we go. This is the condition. It's placed by the left and the action is placed by the right. So the conditions run a test on the object and the actions manipulate the object. In simpler words, conditions are the criteria which must be met before the actions can be executed. So an action without a condition refers to all objects with this name in the scene. So let's go. Now we have to use an action before our shape painter works. So add an action, shape, sorry. So circle, primitive drawing. Now this is the circle. Draw a circle on the screen. Now we have to choose a shape painter object. X position, maybe about 40. This is the X position, the Y position of a screen. So the Y position about maybe 90. Radius, set the radius 40. Okay. Preview. So here we go. This is it here. So it forms a circle here. There are also other drawings. We have the rounded rectangle. We have the circle. We have the ellipse. You can set the height maybe about 20. Okay. Preview. So here we go. This is it here. Okay, so that is the shape painter. Next, let's go to our text entry. So invisible object used to get text entered with a keyboard. So we'll just test it out. There's nothing to modify here. So just name that entry and apply. Pull this into the scene. Now we'll use this text now so I can show you how this works. So new scene event, add an action, modify the text, that is text. Choose an operator set to text. Now we'll fill in an expression here, which is entry, not string, and open and close, and you have to close that with a quote there. Okay, now preview. So now whatever we type on our keyboard is shown on the screen. Oh, sorry. Okay, we need to take this out and preview. Now here we go. Whatever we type on our keyboard goes on the screen. Backspace, jump, you know, everything is typed. So that is what the text entry is all about. So game, next, and now for our last object, which is the video, is an experimental object. So make sure to read the documentation page if you don't understand. So video. Now most browsers will require the user to have interacted with your game before allowing any video to play, so make sure that the player click or touch the screen at the beginning of the game before starting any video. For a given video resource, only one video will be played in memory and displayed. If you put this object multiple times on the scene, other instances will be displaying the exact same video with the same timing and post played stop states. Video formats supported can vary according to devices and browsers. For maximum compatibility, use H.264 or MP4 file formats and AAC audio. So here we loop our video. If you want your video to loop, here's our video passive video volume. Now here you choose a new video file. Okay, so I'll just get one. Okay, so I'll just open this up, and now this is our video resource. Apply. I'll just put that into the scene. Here we go. Zoom out. I need to scale this. Okay, so now this won't work if we preview it, because we need to use an event. So add an empty event. So now here we go, we have a new event. Add an action, play. So here we go, play a video, new object. That is the name of our video. I'll just change that real quick. Okay, so rename video. So I just changed that to video. Okay, so it automatically changes to video here. Now preview. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Now this is the video which we imported. Okay, so this is a game I made. You can download it. The link is in the description below. It's titled Runners, and I just used the trailer for this. So, okay. Now next up, I think that all the objects GDevelop has presently. So let's go to some behaviors. Let's just get some behaviors down with. Let's just get through some behaviors. Edit object behaviors. Okay, I'll just add a new behavior. So we have the platform character. We have used these two behaviors. And the destroy when outside of screen. So when an object is outside the screen, it destroys the object. So I'll just set that right now. Okay, I can't actually show that. But just so that destroys the object. Once your object goes outside the screen, that is useful because it reduces. Okay, so this draggable object, this allows your object to be able to be dragged. So here we go. Now we can drag our object, which is our sprite, with our mouse. Here we go. Now that is what the draggable object, draggable behavior does. There we go. Close that. Edit object behaviors. Delete that. Now our next behavior will be the top down movement. So this is used for isometric games mostly. So it allows your player to be able to move like up, down, in 4 or 8 directions, which are left, up, right, down, and optionally maybe diagonally. Okay, so we have the anchor. This behavior anchors object to windows bounds. It is a like so it positions an object at a specific position, not minding the various screen size changes. So if I set this to maybe window top, if my game size increases, it still maintains the position of the object. So okay, add a new behavior. So we have the pathfinding behavior. With these characters, we will move while avoiding all objects that flagged as obstacles. So this works with the obstacle for pathfinding. So this I have a tutorial on this, so I think you should check it out. If you don't understand this, the link is in the description below. So that covers the obstacle for pathfinding and the pathfinding. So the physics, simulating realistic objects, physics in gravity, forces, joints, etc. So this is what it looks like. You can just set in your physics here. You can set it. This is the physics properties here. Like we have the dynamic, static, and kinematic. We have the fixed rotation bullet. The shape used in the physics behavior is independent from the collision max of the object. Be sure to use the collision condition provided by the physics behavior in the event. The usual collision condition won't take into account the shape that you've set up there. So shape, box, circle, edge, polygon. So you just set the shape you have. So in the future I will create a tutorial on this physics so you understand more about it. So add a behavior to the object. Okay, now we have the twin. Before I do that, I'll just show you the old depreciated behaviors, which is the physics engine. This is normal in use because it's now depreciated and it's old because GDevelop has a better physics engine, which is the 2.0, and I would recommend if you're using this, you use the physics engine 2.0. So the twin smoothly animates position, angle, scale, and other properties of an object. So we all know what twin is all about. So there's nothing to configure here, or we'll just get something. Sorry, edit objects, behaviors. Delete that. Okay, apply. Add a new object, sprite. Just want to get this. Okay, I'll use the fly object tween and apply. Pull this into the scene. So we'll be using the tween now. Add an action. So add a condition beginning of the scene. So this is the condition. Like I said earlier, this is the criteria which must be met before the actions can be executed. So at the beginning of the scene, that is at the beginning of the scene, tween. So we have this. We have the add object angle tween. We have the angle tween. We have the color tween. We have the opacity tween. We have the add object position tween. We have the x position x, so you can set the x and y position you want it to tween to. We have the object x scale tween, y scale tween, object variable tween, text size tween. You can increase the size of your text. The pause a tween, remove a tween, resume a tween, stop a tween. So you can pause a tween while it's performing while it's changing or while it's tweening. Okay, so now let's use the angle tween. Here we go. I'll use that on our tween object here. Oh, sorry. Let's give our tween object a behavior. You have to give it a behavior or else it will be more work. So behavior, add a behavior. Sorry. Here we go. Tween and apply. Okay, so tween behavior, tween identifier. Just set that to what you want. This is a tween identifier to angle in degrees. So I want this to move in an angle. So maybe 90. Erasing. You set the erasing you want. We have the linear erasing quad. sorry, is in quad, that's is in quad, is out quad, is in out quad, is in cubic, is out cubic, is in out cubic. So I'll just set the linear, which is a straight line, duration maybe about 3 seconds. Now destroy the object when the tween finishes. If you want your object to if you want it to destroy your object when the tween finishes, you can set it here, but I want that not to happen, so no. Okay, now preview. Okay, so here we go. It's went to this angle. Here we go. As you can see, it's straight here, then it's went to this angle. So that's how the tween angle works. That's a 90, we said it's 90. So if change it to about 180, it will tween it upside down. So here we go, it's really upside down. Okay, so now that all for the behaviors presently, but you can get more behaviors. At a behavior, you can search for new behaviors, but you need an internet connection to do that. So there are a ton of new there are a ton of behaviors which you can install. You just search for it there. Now we'll show you how to change your scene background. So scene properties, here we go. They set the scene Windows title, examples, stop music or sound on startup. So if you want all sound to be you want sound to stop, or sound or music to stop once the scene starts, you can just check this. So background color, so this is where we set a background color, red, yellow, you know, anything you just want, black. Here we go. Okay, so now this is our background color, so you can set anything you want to be your background color. Now that's all for our scene. So let's return back to our project manager. External event, so this event can be used to link, this can be connected to other scenes, whereby this can be connected to other scenes, whereby the scenes use the event in this external event. So choose the scene. We only have one scene now. Choose. So we can set something in this scene, and once linked to our game scene, it will work. So game scene, I'll show you how to link that real quick. Add this link. Here we go. So include events from. Now that is new external event. So whatever we set in our new external event is automatically linked to our game event, so that will work. Okay, so external layout is the same as external event, but this can be linked to a scene the same way our external event works. So this is it. This is our external layout. Now last but not least, we have the functions and behaviors. You can search for new extensions. Click to add a function or behavior, new extension. So you can create an extension or a behavior here, but this takes time to understand. But so if you understand it, you can create a new extension. But if you're new in GDevelop, I would recommend you just maybe search for new behaviors, search for new extensions, or get extensions made by people who are experiencing this. And as time goes on, once you understand GDevelop, you can start getting into this aspect of GDevelop, which is the extensions. Okay, so that's all presently. That's all for GDevelop now. So that's all you need to know if you want to start if you're new in GDevelop, and